With little sleep, nothing to eat, and no sign of rescue, they'd been driven on by grit and sheer determination. Then suddenly, signs of life appear in the distance.
Well, first, I'm making sure I'm not hallucinating. We haven't eaten, we haven't slept. At this point, I'm sure that my judgment is starting to not be as sharp as it once was.
You see that?
What?
That.
Oh my God. Hey! Hey!
All of a sudden, you just get this feeling of, oh, I think we made it.
Is anyone in there?
No.
Brandon and Gina realize this is not your average campsite.
We definitely know right off the bat that something's wrong.
Stuff had been buried a little bit by dirt. And at this point, we're realizing this is not a good situation. We don't hear anybody, we don't see anybody. It's just a very ominous feeling.
Hey! Hey, Brandon! Look. Look at this.
So we start going through the bag, the contents of the bag. We're discovering these maps. We had no idea really what we were looking at, but just that there were some sort of maps. And there was obvious writing in the white space.
Brandon. Brandon, look. This is today. This is May 8th. Someone's here. We're gonna go.
No, Gina. This diary's a year out of date. It's May 8th, 2005.
It was just a blow. That, for one, how have we found this exactly 1 year ago to the day? And in seeing everything that he had, he was obviously prepared for something. You know, he was an experienced climber, experienced hiker. That this campsite's abandoned, that you don't know what the hell is going on.
May 8th, 2005. Took a fall. Too weak to climb out a canyon. Down is gorge. No way out. Gorge? What gorge? Wait, listen, here's another one. Listen. May 11th. I'm 60 today. Down to last 2 crackers. God, this is... Here, May 14th. Heading down to creek for water. Goodbye and love you all.
I'm looking through the bag and I come across all of his identification. I see his name is John Joseph Donovan, and he's in his 60s from Virginia. And I come across his driver's license, his credit cards, his debit cards, his everything.
Gina, these are someone's last words. Gina, we've just read someone's last words.
That was exactly a year ago to the day that we found this campsite of somebody saying goodbye to the world. And now here we are in the same place exactly a year ago to the day. And to go from such a high to such a low in such a short amount of time was just something that shakes you. This doesn't happen. You know, this is stuff that people make up, you know, and put into a movie.
In digging through all of his cards, I see the prayer card that has the St. Christopher prayer. And that's when just too many loose ends were tied at that point, that St. Christopher is the patron saint of travelers. And I had been praying to St. Christopher my whole way along. His penmanship was very much like my father's, and my dad's birthday was May 7th. And it's just all kind of coming to a head. At that point, I can't take it. It's too much. And Brandon is continuing to read, and I'm starting to freak out. At that point, I took his bag and I gathered up everything I could. I gathered up his glasses, his shoes, his jacket, because in my mind, that's somebody's dad. And somebody's dad didn't come home. And it was just important to me that any of his family have his things. I can't think of anything but getting the hell out of there.
Gina, wait! Gina, wait, stop! Gina!
It's just a mess. We're losing all sense of cool, which we'd maintained our composure the entire way, and that was a breaking point.
Gina!
And, Brandon came up and grabbed me and just kind of said, breathe. Just breathe and settle. We have to settle. And, just that look in his eye, I knew that he was afraid for me. And we kind of just took a moment to maybe try to gather ourselves a little bit. And all you can hear is this rush of water.
For Gina and Brandon, the horror story they find themselves in is unrelenting.
Listen.
What?
Listen.
Again, the water gets us every time.
Listen, that's a waterfall.
Come on.
So we get closer. We make our way back around some big trees that were close to the water, make our way around. And that's where we see the gorge that John had talked about. And we're stuck. We're completely stuck. He had the maps, he had the compass, he had everything, and he couldn't get out. So how the hell are we? Clearly, looking back upstream, what we had just come down, there's no way we can get back up it. We had jumped down so many boulders and trees that there's no way we can climb back up. To our left was straight, sheer rock walls, and to our right, it was a bowl. It made a big, giant bowl. To know that something so beautiful was so dangerous, it's just so hard to put into words. That feeling of seeing all this tremendous beauty and I'm stuck.
We see what he'd written about. There's about 140, 150 foot waterfall and no way to get around it. We're at an impasse. Now what? We can't, at this point, it's sinking in, we can't walk our way out.